Well, welcome back to Introduction of Project Management. This is the second of two videos looking at IT project management. And during this particular video, what we're going to do is cover the last two bullets. We're going to look at exams and assessments associated with this particular course. Then I'm going to give you a little bit of a taste of the lesson objectives associated with this course. So let's look at those exams and assessments. So it really consists of two components, the first of which is a pretty open-ended project, and then the second of which is a series of three evaluations. One evaluation looking at your understanding of the fundamentals of IT project management, a second one looking at traditional IT project management, and a third exam looking at non-traditional project management. All right, grading scale is normal, associated with this institution. Let's go on and dig in a little bit more about the project and talk about that. It's going to be a lot of work. So this particular project is a group effort. You're going to have 3 to 4 members on each team. We're going to take the case study that is presented in the textbook and explore it using a traditional project management approach. And what I want you to do is to create project management artifacts as you go through the scoping and planning and monitoring, launching and closing out of a project. You're going to be generating different documents, different PowerPoint presentations and Word documents and Excel spreadsheets. And so what I want you to do is demonstrate your mastery of the material by putting these together. And the second component is to link them together by telling the story of your project. It's a little bit of a creative writing exercise. So I want you to tell me your story. It could be a successful project, it could be an unsuccessful project. It really is quite open-ended. And so I want you to impress me, to dazzle me, to show me that you understand the material and that you can use the material in a practical setting. Wow, how cool. No spec and dump. You've actually got to use what you learn in a real business setting. Okay? So that's really the idea behind the project. It is worth a substantial amount of your grade, so it should be a substantial commitment of not only your time but the commitment of your team. All right, don't rush this at the end. And then the last bit is you should submit this through Dropbox. Just identify who your team leader is going to be, and they can submit it once. It's not necessary for all 3 or 4 all team members to submit the project. All right, let's move on now and talk about the last component associated with evaluations and assessments, and those are going to be the 3 exams. And so those are going to be aligned with the 3 modules, one on the fundamentals of IT project management, second one associated with traditional project management, and then a third assessment associated with non-traditional project management. Each of these are timed exams, so once you start, you've started, and at that point you have 60 minutes to finish the exam. You can only take the exam one time, so again, once you start, be intentional. Each exam is 20 questions. Those 20 questions could be true, false, or multiple choice, or multiple select, or fill in the blank, or matching, or some variant thereof. It is an open book, open note, open web, but a closed collaboration exam. And the questions are randomized, so each of you will get a different set of questions. Please be prepared and don't underestimate the difficulty of the 3 exams. I do know that it's open book, open note, open web, and the exams were built as if they were open book, open note, open web. So the intent, again, is not for you to memorize and then frantically write it down on an exam. The intent is for you to actually understand the course material, to understand the implications of the course material, to reach decisions based on those implications. So it's probably a more difficult question than, oh yeah, this is just a true, false, multiple choice, fill in the blank exam. So again, don't underestimate it. Be prepared. It is a one-time event for each of the 3, and combined, this is about 60% of your grade for this course. All right, let's look at some of the lesson objectives associated with the first module, give you a little bit of feel for what we're going to be doing with that throughout the course. So in this particular slide, we're looking at three of the lesson objectives. First one talks about project management and being able to identify the kind of six fundamental questions associated with a project. Be able to define some of the challenges associated with project management and identify kind of the four forms of project creep. We're then going to go in and look at common project management terms that would be used in a business setting. These are things that you shouldn't have to look up, that you should just know and be able to use. Define the 5 process groups in the PBOK guide, and be able to talk about and define the 10 knowledge areas associated within that guide. We'll move in to look at some of the characteristics associated with traditional project management, agile project management, extreme project management, and emergency project management. We'll be able to classify these projects in the project landscape, not manscape. I'm not quite sure what a manscape is. And to be able to then be able to talk about characteristics that allow that classification. All right. And then finally, we want to be able to talk about the scope triangle and how to balance projects and trade off between the dimensions associated with the scope triangle. All right, that brings us to this last slide looking at project management. And here we want to be able to explore relationships between those 5 process groups that I talked about earlier, and then those 10 knowledge areas that I talked about. We want to be able to compare and contrast linear, incremental, iterative, adaptive, and extreme project management lifecycle models. And of course, there are different approaches within each of those different modules. And then finally, we want to be able to use a requirements breakdown structure as a basis for choosing a best fit project management lifecycle model and approach. All right, well, very good. So I've gone through 4 slides, each of which had about 3 objectives, so there are 12 objectives, and that covered the first module. So you get a feel for how the course is laid out. You hopefully learned through this video about the exams and assessments associated with it, and you got to see some of the lesson objectives associated with the first of 3 modules. Well, guess what? Next video, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to do an introduction to project management. So keep on studying, and I'll see you in the next video.